Donald Trump was out tailgating and tackling his opponents in Iowa just before a big college football rivalry game and just days before this week's second Republican debate. ABC's Mary Bruce. She is covering all the action. She has the latest from the White House for us this morning. Hi, Mary.
Hey, Paula, good morning. Well, it was all about football yesterday in Iowa, but the real spectacle was in watching those Republican candidates at that tailgate. And it was clear from the second Donald Trump showed up who was the fan favorite.
Donald Trump packing in the fans at a tailgate in Iowa and leading the Republican pack for president. Inside the stadium, it was Iowa versus Iowa State.
What a catch!
Outside, it was Trump against the rest of the Republican field.
Carly is surging. She's got 3%. I hear Ben, who's a nice guy, Ben Carson, is a very nice man. He's surging, but he's way behind me.
The frontrunner handing out new hats.
Come on up, darling, come here.
But the same old zingers as he heads into this week's Republican debate.
Somebody will attack. You know, somebody like a Rand Paul who's down at 2%. He'll maybe attack. He's been very nasty lately.
And Paul was there, taking shots.
I think I went a little bit easy on Donald Trump, so I'm telling him now, you're a fake conservative, and we're going to make sure everybody in America knows Donald Trump, you're a fake.
Also tailgating in Iowa, Marco Rubio.
Thank you. Good luck.
And Scott Walker, who is struggling to find a foothold. Once seen as a potential frontrunner, Walker is plunging in the key state. Meanwhile, Ben Carson rising quickly to second place, wooing voters in South Carolina.
All I have to do is tell the truth, and that takes a lot of pressure off of you.
Nearby, Democrat Bernie Sanders courted African-American voters whose support he'll need to compete with Hillary Clinton.
We need an economy that works for all of us and not just a handful of billionaires, and that is what this campaign is about.
The Vermont senator still in second, but gaining fast.
Now, in just 3 days, the Republican candidates will face off in their second debate. And after 24 million viewers tuned in for the first one, this will likely be a make-or-break moment for those hoping to steal back some of that spotlight from Donald Trump. Dan?
It's going to be a big night. Mary, thank you. For much more on this, let's bring in ABC's Martha Raddatz, who's also in Washington, where she'll be hosting this week. Later this morning, Martha, good morning. As we head into this next big Republican debate, what can we expect from Trump's opponents? What's their strategy likely to be? Attack or ignore Trump and play their own game?
Well, Dan, I think somebody's bound to attack, just as Donald Trump predicts. But they have to be careful because Trump is clearly goading them into attacking him. That appears to be part of his strategy. Ben Carson has already apologized for questioning Trump's faith, saying that was out of line. And frankly, Ben Carson's appeal has nothing to do with being aggressive and in your face. So I suspect he, as the number 2 behind Trump, will play to his base, his strength, although he will probably want to speak up a bit more. And then the newcomer to the stage, Carly Fiorina, will need to stand out as presidential, as a strong voice who knows what she's talking about. And I think most will challenge Trump's policies, not try to take on the personality.
Right. And a lot of people are going to be watching Carly Fiorina in particular. I also want to ask this morning about Hillary Clinton. The Washington Post has a headline this morning that says the company that managed her private email server has, quote, no knowledge of the server being wiped, meaning that many of her private emails that she claimed to have deleted may actually be recoverable. So what does that mean for her campaign potentially?
Well, if they get more off of that server and even one of the recovered emails is work-related, that could start a whole new round of trouble for Hillary Clinton, who's insisted those thousands of emails were personal, not work-related. But even if they don't, even though Hillary Clinton has now apologized for having that personal server, this is not going away. There are thousands more emails being released over the next few months. And the story is really what is on those emails and the fact that hundreds have now been deemed classified or sensitive, 2 of them with a top secret classification. Dan, this is not going away.
The drip, drip, drip continues, apology notwithstanding. Martha, thank you. And a reminder, Martha has a big show this morning. She'll have much more on the race for the White House, unveiling an exclusive new poll. And she's going one-on-one with the rising Republican presidential candidate Ben Carson, who we just saw in Mary's piece. It's all coming up on This Week later this morning right here.